Good Thursday to you. We've some terrific stories for you today on Ag AM in Kansas. Here's what's coming up.
Today, Brian Hallman visits with Chad at Premier Farm and Home about the negative effects that sudden temperature change can have on grass. Learn how to gauge your turf's health, what to do about cool weather weeds, and what plans to make to control warm weather weeds. Then Brian is at Hy-Vee in Topeka checking in on a Kansas Livestock Association class. Find out what the cattle industry attendees learned and what their thoughts are regarding the future.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. Just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. Thanks for staying with us through the commercial break. Chad, it's good to see you again.
Hey Brian, how are you? Is it spring yet?
Well, I don't know. We get to be outside.
Well, that's good.
I know. We've been filming the last 2 or 3 weeks from the inside, and now we get to come outside. So it's a nice deal. Hey, here's my question, and you and I talk quite often.
Okay.
My question is, we've had a pretty cool spring, pretty mild spring. What if we turn the air conditioner off all of a sudden and we turn the heat on automatically? How do we need to be prepared for that?
Well, the biggest thing is the time frame to which this occurs. So right now we've been in this period where we've had this cool, persistent weather that hasn't really jumped up and had a week of 80. You know what I mean? And for the grass, this hardening off or this transitionary time is a good thing. So we want slow changes when it comes to grass. If it overnight jumps up in the week of the 80s and then crashes back down or continues to spike up, that's when we get into trouble. So it's the sudden change, not so much where it's at in the temperature scale.
We should still be monitoring our moisture in the ground. We've gotten some rain and some snow and some rain and a little bit of snow again and here off and on and off and on. It hasn't been a truly wet spring.
Right. The moisture's been adequate would probably be the best way to describe it. The biggest thing you have to watch out for is as the temperatures rise, the usage of that water just increases dramatically. So when it's cold like this, we're not really using much water, so it's not such a detrimental thing not to get a lot of rain. But you'll notice that as soon as it gets hot, that more water evaporates, more water's used to cool the plant, more water's used because every process is sped up, that they just dry out quicker. You know.
By the time we get to cracks in our yard, is that too late?
Usually that's too late. Yeah, I mean too late in the fact that if you get to cracks, that's just showing you that there's not a lot of soil moisture there at all, or that you have a high clay content, which sometimes means you don't have a deep root system. So really, by the time you see cracks, it's pretty bad. But you know, it's okay to let it dry out in between. As a matter of fact, I recommend that so that the roots get down deep and they have oxygen to get down there. But you don't need a crack of oxygen get all the way down there. Just a little looser soil is fine.
And how should we be gauging our turf's health this time of the year?
What I usually do is the rate at which it's growing. So if you're having to mow a couple times a week, our turf is in good shape. Removing those clippings keeps a really fresh look. You know, our plots look really good right now, for example, and I'm mowing them twice a week out here. So that clipping quantity that you're going through indicates that the plants are in good health and that everything's going as it should go.
A couple of weeds we need to be aware of early, and then when we come back from the break, we'll talk about the late season weeds, but let's talk about the cold weather ones.
The cold weather ones are winter annuals, so we still have the little purple flowered stuff, henbit, chickweed, similar to some of the ones we talked earlier, and they're still around. They still hang around in this cool weather, and they're an annoyance, but once our mowing, like we said, starts picking up that 2-3 times a week, they start to get less and less in the yard. So.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back with Chad, we're going to talk about maybe the late spring and summer weeds that we need to be taking care of right now.
All right.
You're watching Ag AM in Kansas, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Thanks for staying with us, Chad. Thank you for staying with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to roll out of spring, and right before we get to summer, there will probably be some weeds. I know we'll have some crabgrass, we'll have some dandelions, we'll have a whole bunch of stuff. When do we need to start preparing for that stuff?
Usually that May time frame, so now. You know, it's right away. They're going to start germinating, which will be the next wave of weeds we call summer annuals, or even some of those perennials like dandelions we talked about will all of a sudden show their yellow flowers and remind you that they're there. You know, a lot of times we don't notice them. The perennials kind of hang out, and then you just see this, man, I didn't even know that was there, and they'll do those cycles. But the really ones, the ones that concern me are more the summer annual stuff. So there's some things called like common Lespedeza that's been very common, as its name says, here lately, and that has to do with it just being hot and dry. And when your grass declines, these other pests, for lack of a better term, really come on strong, and that's what you got to work out for. And then also in the same category would be like crabgrass, or also we'll see some goosegrass, or maybe foxtail, these aggressive annual grasses that germinate at higher temperatures, and they like heat, you know, so they're coming on strong as your grass starts to decline. So you just have to be aware of that going into summer.
And we want to remind everybody, and I'm sure Chad will, that if you seeded in the spring, putting down a pre-emergent is probably not a good thing to do.
Not a good idea.
You may just want to spot spray.
That would be my recommendation. So for those of you who have went out and seeded, just make sure that we're not pushing chemicals on them too early. You know, even your weed sprays can injure young seedlings. So you can always talk to an expert or give us a call and we can help you with that. So.
When we're talking about spot spraying, the name of it just escaped me. I just bought a bottle of it.
Trimac.
Yeah, Trimac. Yeah. 4 ounces per gallon. Little pump spray. Go out and kind of spot spray.
You got to be careful with saying the rates though. But yes, for the homeowner strength, 4 ounces per gallon is about what you're doing. Some of the commercial stuff's down to 1.5 ounces per gallon. It depends on the rate. So make sure we're always reading and following label directions. But yeah, you're just just getting a little bit in a pump up sprayer and going out and spot hitting them. It stresses the seedlings much less than a blanket spray over the whole yard, especially multiple times.
If we didn't seed, what should we be looking for right now as far as getting out on the yard?
If we haven't seeded, we're going to be starting with our first big dose of nitrogen. This spring that we all see that's looking really nice with our cool season yards right now, the first letdown that you see from that, where it starts to get a little yellow or starts to kind of thin out a little bit, then we'll give it a dose of nitrogen just to kind of keep it in that vegetative growth.
What if we hit nitrogen hard in the fall?
That's the best time. I mean, of course, we recommend September and November as the ideal time to put down heavy amounts of nitrogen. The only other time that we're putting a significant amount may be in May, and that's just to keep, you'll see your yard start to get stemmy and it tries to seed even though we mow it off, so you never get to see the seed coming up, but it gets thin and kind of stemmy looking, and that's what we're trying to combat with the dose of nitrogen in May.
And we want to remind everybody, heycow.com,
Yep.
where you can come out and see Chad and his staff out here at Premier Farm and Home here in Topeka. Man, that was tough. I got it
All
out
right.
though. Chad,
Thanks.
it's good to see you.
Appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yep.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
We started using Multimin about 4 years ago. We started out first in our own cow herd and our own replacement heifer program just to see how it worked, experiment with it. We don't like to put a new product out there with our clients unless we've tried it ourselves or there's a lot of data behind it that we like. We had really good results with it our first year, really are happy with the way things worked. So we decided to start using our clients, and we have been now for 3 years, and I would say 90 to 95% of our clients use Multimin.
Get ready for the Kicker Country Stampede presented by Verizon Wireless, starring Jason Aldean, Trace Atkins. 4 days of camping and country music at Country Stampede, Little Big Town. The Pistolantes featuring Ashley Monroe, Miranda Lambert, and Angelina Presley. Country Stampede. Take advantage of our current pricing. Advanced pricing for a 4-day ticket is $135. Prices go up June 26. More info at countrystampede.com.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
If you don't have a garden, you can still enjoy fresh vegetables by growing them in containers. Let Jackson's help you select the correct plants for your pots. Use Fertilome's Ultimate Potting Mix. Place pots in the sun and feed them weekly with Fertilome's water-soluble fertilizer. Water thoroughly when dry and watch your garden grow.
Jackson's grows over 50 varieties of tomato plants and 75 kinds of pepper plants. We'll help you choose the best variety.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
This segment is brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. Thanks for staying with us through the commercial break. We're at the KLA class here at the Hy-Vee store in Topeka. We're joined by Ray. Thanks for joining us this morning, Ray.
Thank you very much.
Ray is from Zoetis, and you're kind of sponsoring the class. How important is it that you sponsor a class like this and get pertinent information to the people who are basically hands-on when it comes to the cattle industry?
Well, it's very important to our company. It's actually one of the core values of our company, which is education. And really about 2 years ago, Clayton Huseman and I embarked on this endeavor of trying to really go after the next generation of feed yard owners, feed yard general managers, and up and coming leadership roles in the industry.
Payoff business-wise for you guys, or is it more of an informational more than it is growing the business? Because there's kind of two sides to that, isn't there?
Yeah, I think our, the biggest reason why we're doing this obviously is a key partnership with, with KLA and the industry that, we thrive in. If as long as the industry is successful with developing new leaders, then we're successful in our company. And I think, for the most part, it's also a way for us to give back to the industry that, makes us successful.
How tough is it nowadays in the industry? You hear a lot of consumer groups complain about antibiotic use and everything else like that, even though we know people who are hands-on have judicial use of antibiotics and everything that goes along with it. How important is it that you as a pharmaceutical company educate consumers on the role that you guys play?
Yeah, and it goes back to just, like I was saying, it's one of our core values, education. And so we work a lot not only with the end user being, a feed yard, a cow-calf operation, a stocker operator, but also the veterinarian to ensure that our products get used the most proper way and the way that we, as a company, recommend that they get used.
Long-term aspect of the cattle industry here in the state of Kansas, do you see it as being a healthy environment? As far as just the industry in general?
The last, year to 18 months has been, from a equity standpoint, has been very tough on, the feed yard owners and managers. There's been tremendous equity loss in it. From a standpoint of, Western Kansas, our state is lucky to have probably some of the most progressive feed yards in the whole world. And so from that standpoint, it is a thriving industry, but we look forward to some more profitable times in the industry to make things a lot better.
Someone's watching the show this morning, want to know some information about Zoetis. What's the easiest way they can find out?
You can go to www.zoetis.com and you can kind of navigate your way through there and learn more about our company.
And as Dr. Thompson always says, work with your local veterinarian.
That's right.
Yeah. Perfect. Ray, thank you for your time. It's very nice to meet you, sir.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply. Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169. Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tarwater Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Stop by or visit us at sftmeats.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. We're at Hy-Vee here in Topeka, and we're actually at a new class being put on by KLA, and we're joined by one of the stockmen in the class. So welcome to the show. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. New class kind of put on for feed yard guys, kind of like the young stockman class, but kind of geared towards feedlot guys.
Yeah, it's an older generation that's going to be moving into the leadership roles of the feed yards. So I personally had went through the leadership conference whenever I was of the young stockman age, but now it's time to make the next step.
And what are some of the things you're picking up in the class?
Yesterday and today was full of valuable information. Roles that the KLA itself as a staff does to help us, and policy making, and the roles that the lobbyists play on the floor and up on the hill. So far, I'm really enjoying the information that they're bringing to us.
The cattle industry is a tough industry. It doesn't matter prices, inputs, environmentalists, it doesn't matter. Everybody's always banging at your door. How important is it to have KLA or that organization or any organization in your corner?
Oh, I can't imagine doing something without an association to be behind you for your livelihood of what you're trying to produce, and for the inputs that you would have. It's only a phone call away to have them on your staff, basically.
Well, how different is it? I'm assuming maybe 5 years from you being a young stockman to the class you're in now, or has it been a few more years than that?
Whenever I come through the leadership program the first time, it was in 2001. So over the years, I was basically 3 years new into the feed yard that I'm at now, have grown into a management position and looking to keep advancing there. So really a good refresher for what I learned back in 2001, and hope to keep growing with that.
Yeah, we do have some consumers who watch the show on a regular basis. What are some of the misconceptions people may have about the feed yard industry?
Oh, we're big business, don't care about the people, which could be so much further from the truth. The care that we give the animals on a daily basis, the time that we spend to make a good, wholesome product for our consumers is our number one priority.
Well, just because they have 4 legs, it's still your livelihood. I mean, and I think a lot of people forget that it's part of your livelihood. That animal being able to make it to their store shelves is the way you make your living, and taking care of those animals is extremely important.
Absolutely.
And is that part of the training that's going on here too?
It will be hit upon. I think our session this time, there's going to be 4 different ones. They'll be scattered from here to Washington, D.C. But as time goes on, we will learn about more animal welfare issues and how to better care for our animals. We met with the state veterinarian this morning and actually went over some roles that food safety may come into play in the future and what we should be looking out for as far as keeping the food supply safe at our level at the feed yard.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time.
Right,
I really appreciate you taking the time to come and see us.
You bet. Thanks.
We'll see you all tomorrow.
Right.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have plenty more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday same time, same station, or look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here for K-State Research and Extension.